Breaking news. The San Jose Sharks acquire two wild players, and we're about to discuss it right now. This is Teal Town Live. Good afternoon, everyone. It is 2:30 p.m. on the West Coast on October 5th, 2020. In fact, 29 years ago today, the San Jose Sharks played in their first home game in franchise history. Today in 2020, they make a trade for two depth players that they need to get back to where they want to be, and that's being in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Welcome to Teal Town Live. This is your live interactive show for everything San Jose Sharks. So be a part of the show, chat with us and fellow Sharks fans in our YouTube chat on the page or the app. And of course, follow us on the social, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, SoundCloud, Reddit, and of course our Discord channel. Hit us up at tealtownusa.com for more info. Hi, everyone. I am Eric Cura. I'm glad to be with you on this eventful day, which we thought, it's got to be Calgary's New Jerseys that we're going to be talking about here. But no, not so fast. Not so fast, my friends. The Sharks have acquired two players from the Minnesota Wild as they try to shore up their depth, And so let's get into it as well. Let's go into the chat first. Get your instant reaction as to everything that's gone on today. And with that, Kelsey, good to see you. Wish you well. Hope you're doing all right. Riley Archuleta saying, hope everyone's having a nice day. Thank you. Doug gets a better deal than I thought possible again. Doug finds a way. Doug finds a way. ER, liking these trades, low cost potential, and a rebound season from Dubnyk and Donato could flourish with more ice time. Yeah, we'll definitely get off to that. So far in the chat, looking like Doug off to a decent start. Joseph still saying should have never let Pavs go. Oh, we wish we couldn't let Pavs go, for that matter. And just another Andy G. Cool, just waking up and just weren't about to trade. What did San Jose give up for these guys? Well, great for you to ask that. The Sharks will start off with the overall trades. First off, the San Jose sends their 2021 third-round pick, which was originally Pittsburgh's pick, to Minnesota for Ryan Donato. Now, via Pittsburgh, it's because that was the pick that the Sharks got for Patrick Marleau at the trade deadline earlier this year. So you definitely have you definitely get some value out of that for signing Patrick Marleau for absolutely nothing with cap minimum space, and you're going to get a guy that's got some pretty good potential, especially potentially being on the top six. That's a pretty good win-win there. So you got that, and then the trade that just officially came out, although this has been in the rumor mill from the insiders for a number of hours now. Devan Dubnyk comes to San Jose with 50% of his salary retained. That's a huge plus for the Sharks as they are close to the cap. They also get a 2022 7th-round pick. In exchange, Minnesota gets a 2022 5th-round pick. So that's your deal right there. So the Sharks will send a 2021 third and a 2022 fifth to get two players that could help you right now. You could probably say that for Dubnyk, but also in the future. Interesting to see how this goes out. So, dang, Marleau's still coming through for the Sharks. Holy crap, 50% DW, my man. So definitely looking at that. Joseph Duran, we did need a big goalie, though. Jones and Dell were kind of short for goalies. NHL goalies are getting taller. If it means stopping the puck a lot better, yes. Now, that being said, Devan Dubnyk and Ryan Donato were expendable. So let's talk about Ryan Donato, 24-year-old center. He's listed according to NHL.com, 6'2", 192. He's a lefty from Boston. Last year, he had 14 goals, 9 assists, 23 points with the Minnesota Wild. Originally selected by Boston in the second round of the 2014 NHL entry draft. He was also the 2018 Hobey Baker finalist with Harvard. So he also played with John McCarthy at the 2018 Winter Olympics for Team USA in Pyeongchang, South Korea. And the interesting part, here, a $1.9 million cap hit. He is a restricted free agent after this season is over. According to the press release here, Doug Wilson was saying Ryan is an offensively gifted young player who loves to compete with his terrific shot. His game has shown steady improvement each season, and we think the best hockey is ahead of him. Now, we mentioned earlier, he scored 14 goals last year for the Minnesota Wild. He only got in 2 of the playoff games that Minnesota played in the qualifying round. So, for 1 year, $1.9 million cap hit, it's actually not too bad. And to shore up some depth, you could see that. Now, the center, I would say, as a center, that's interesting. Does this mean, the Sharks are going to need another center? Not sure what that means. Could he play wing? I mean, that'd be something to see too, but it is nice to have some depth with a good scoring touch. I think I saw on Twitter earlier today that the 14 goals matched Joe Pavelski's regular season goal total. I would beg to say that he's no Joe Pavelski, and he scored 13 fewer playoff goals than frickin' Joe Pavelski. So, if you haven't already, good afternoon, everyone. I am Eric Cura. We are breaking down these trades here on Teal Town USA. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that like button. Tell us how you think about this trade. And, of course, hit that notification bell, because when we do these breaking news trades, we go on just like that without any warning. And the only warning you will get is when you get it on your phone. So we appreciate each and every one of you. 40 people watching. Thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you coming in. So, and Chivo, I was just about to say that. Fun fact, Minnesota acquired Donato from Boston for former Shark prospect Charlie Coyle. Coyle, of course, was part of the Brent Burns trade. So you kind of have a little tie into the Sharks that way. So, you see, let's see here. For Jones, they say 6'4". Yes, 6'4". Devan Dubnyk, however, as we talk about him, he's a 34-year-old goaltender, 6'6", 224 pounds. You're left-handed. And, of course, if you're a part of our Discord, you love where he's from because you want to experience Regina. Regina, Saskatchewan, go Rough Riders indeed. He had a rough year last year, 12-15-2, 3.35 goals against, 896 save percentage. Yeah, let's just put it this way. In Nabby, we trust. Am I right? Overall, he's had an excellent career. In fact, he's been an all-star three of the last 4 times they've held an all-star game. In 2016, 17, they didn't have one because they did have one in the 18 for the Olympics. So, 3 of the last 5 NHL All-Star games he was a participant in, including the one in San Jose last January. He was a 2015 Vezina finalist. He was also a Hart Trophy. He finished in 4th in the Hart Trophy voting in 2015. He was also a Masterton Award winner as well. And no disrespect to anybody else who played in Stockton, but easily one of the most well-known or most famous, more successful Stockton Thunder players in Stockton's history. So you definitely got that. The most important thing, as we mentioned before, 50% salary retained, which means the Sharks have him for a $2.16 million cap hit. He is a UFA after the season per cap friendly. So, I think, and you know what, James, you're saying it right on the money here. It's a pretty sweet Dubnyk deal, I think. Low risk, high reward, especially the Wild are retaining 50% of his cap hit. Hashtag dealing Doug. I am not, I was getting to that. Let me get all the info out first, jerk. I mean, to think, and I know Jerk and AJ and Rocket mentioned it last night on the Technologists, that the Doug finds a way. He does find a way. He gets two players for roughly a little over $4 million in cap hit. Good depth players. Now, what's this saying about our goaltending? Not much. But maybe if Jones falls apart, you have Dubnyk to go with it. It also gives time in not rushing up your goaltenders. Pasinchek, per se. So you love to see it. Another hockey jerkism. I'm probably owe him a nickel later or something. I don't know. Chester Chivo, former Shark Bill Guerin, is the Wild GM as well. It's amazing how these two teams always be connected. It's funny that you say that because, we've seen what the Martin Havlat deal with Danny Heatley. We've seen it with why am I drawing blank? We saw the Burns trade with Setaguchi and Coyle and a pick. We've seen with James Shepard, if I'm not mistaken, if that was a trade or not. I mean, it's like the San Jose Wild Sharks. I think I came up with the logo like that years ago. So, wow, how dare the Sharks gamble on a guy who could be a very good 1B goalie. And, you guys talked about that as well before, that these goaltenders now, you're starting to see more and more of not having a guy like, and Nabby's a good one, but also Archer's Urbe, who played like 78 games throughout the course of an 84-game season when the Sharks first made the playoffs in 94. Now you're kind of seeing it's kind of a tandem per se, where it's like a 60-40 split or a 65-35 split. And for two goaltenders who want to show that they still belong in the league, it's great to have. Now, and I say new because he's strictly just Sharks now, does Sharks goaltending coach Evgeny Nabokov have some work to do? Oh yeah. These two aren't exactly the cream of the crop. That's why you only got him for a 5th round pick. So, but again, like James, you said, low risk, high reward if you get him. I did not like the rumor that the first was headed to Minnesota. This is a great trade in my opinion. Yeah, I mean, you only sent a 5th round pick to Minnesota and have 50% salary retained. That's something, to hang on. And when you have all not a whole lot of space, and David H asking how much cap do we have now post trades? Well, it's funny you should say that. Cap Friendly just updated. We currently have just a skosh. You're welcome, AJ. Just a skosh over $10 million in cap space left. Now, as for your free agents, you still have to deal with Dubnyk, Melker Karlsson, Stefan Nason, Jumbo, Antti Suomela. You also have on the roster Brandon Davidson, Dalton Prout, and Jake Middleton. And of course, Aaron Dell as well. And it looks like Aaron Dell will be the one to be going now. He's a unrestricted free agent. Prout and Davidson are UFAs, along with Nason, Jumbo, and Melker. Those are UFAs. Dubnyk and Suomela along with Jake Middleton, are arbitration eligible for their RFA status. So we'll see if there's qualifying offers that come out within the next day or two. Should be interesting to see what goes down, especially with just $10 million left. You start to wonder if there's some other moves going on. And, when all the GMs get together for the draft, the phones are always buzzing right now. So be on the lookout for that. Brandon Tucker, do we think Doug is going to make a big trade to trade far up tomorrow? I'm guessing you're thinking if they're going to move up in the draft. Really not much that they can do unless it's going to involve a lot of other picks. Currently, the Sharks have the 31st pick in the first round, thanks to Tampa Bay winning the Stanley Cup. Congrats, Goody. They do have picks 34 and 59 in the second round, and then they don't pick again until the 5th, where they have 2 picks in there. Interesting to see what they're going to do with that. Could they use the 31 and 34 to move up? However, this is a deep draft, and if you notice, these picks came in 2021 and 2022 down the road. This is what many have said. This is a pretty deep draft, and Doug does not want us to lose it. So, and Jerk saying Dubnyk only cost $216,666. Wow, that's double-ish. More than Dell did last year. Donato is making $1.9 million with 20 goal potential. Huge win. Think this increases our chances of actually dipping in the FA market for a middle 6 forward. Maybe. Or wait, no, I'm sorry. As AJ would say, I am unsure. That's for sure. Where does the Burns trade rank in NHL trade robberies in the last 10 to 15 years? It's probably number 2 behind Joe Thornton. I'll just leave it at that for sure. So that's appreciated. Alexei Melnichuk. I hope I got that right now. My bad, Shirk. My bad. I was trying to read it too fast there. So, and you definitely need 2 goalies next year with the schedule being compressed. Absolutely. You also need goaltenders to expose one of them in the expansion draft to Seattle. And now, Jerk, help me out here since you are paying attention to me, and I appreciate that immensely as always. I'm trying to make sure I get this right, because I know AJ was talking about that. But I'm trying to see here that they do need to expose at least one goaltender that has at least a year remaining on their deal. Yes, so that's an interesting one to check out. Oh, and yes, you can check out Jerk's Armchair GM on Cap Friendly. Yeah, and their second is actually 55th, not 59th overall. My apologies. And this is the draft where you want to draft for quantity. Excuse me. So you would have to expose Jones, extend Dubnyk, or acquire a goaltender under contract for 21-22. I could see us just exposing Jones and see where that goes. I mean, if he has a rebound year, then you're going to run into issues. So, Brandon Tucker saying, I think we're going to start in January and want to get, and you're going to need to finish up by July before NBC pulls the plug on you and heads to Tokyo for the Olympics. Probably going to need to make that decision very soon. So, remember when we said Erik Karlsson was number 1 in wrong trade robberies? Hey, it still is. I'm looking forward to seeing how he does this season. He's 100%, So, is my internet acting up? Oh, goody. I love it when my internet acts up when it's just by myself. I love it. So, your thoughts. Again, we will recap this trade for you right now. Ryan Donato and Devan Dubnyk, 50% retained, mind you, are San Jose Sharks. The Sharks also acquire a 7th-round pick in 2022, and in return, Minnesota gets a 2021 third-round pick. That was the pick from Pittsburgh in the Patrick Marleau deal back in February, and a 2022 5th-round pick. So that is what you got going on right here. So tell us what you think. Use the comment chat below, or if you're seeing this afterwards, we're good to go. Here, my internet, fan freaking-tastic, I think. What kind of deal do you think Dubnyk will sign? A very good one afterwards. I'm kind of with Jerk and AJ when we've had our discussions that, $3 million a year would be really nice to do. But stranger things have come. We'll see about that. 3 years, $3 million per. I would say that's probably good right now. That's a good pickup there. So, all right. So again, Donato comes from Minnesota, originally from Boston, played with the Bruins, was selected in the 2nd round after the 2014 season. He was a finalist for the Hobey Baker Award when he went to Harvard, and is an Olympian. He played with John McCarthy for Team USA at the Olympics. As for Devan Dubnyk, a steady 1B, 1A, who knows, will be great, great competition in camp when the guys come back to San Jose. 6'6", a large goaltender, and Minnesota's retaining half the salary, so 2.16 cap hit, and he's a UFA after the season, with some good accolades to go around as well. So that is where we are at this moment. If anything breaks, we will make sure to bring it to you. Jerk actually on, Ryan Donato put up 14 goals last year, all even strength while being a 4th liner or healthy scratched. Something to chew on. Could he benefit from being up higher in the lineup? Could he benefit from being, Jerk, I'll ask you, has he played on the left wing before? I'm kind of curious there, because he is listed as a center, but I would think he's able to play on the left or being a center as well. So interesting to see what they'll go on. Not a huge fan of Dell, and it's barely anymore. Donato looks like a decent depth guy as well, which we needed. Yeah, and if you can get potentially 15 to 20 goals from him, that's a huge boost, and a huge boost to pick up there. So he's played all 3 forward positions per James. I like it. You definitely have some room to play with, and especially if injuries come about again, you have to look out for that, for sure. So again, the Sharks acquired Ryan Donato and Devan Dubnyk, former Stockton Thunder. Here, hang on, yes, it's the off season, but there is a jersey of the day, so be on the lookout for that. But yes, Devan Dubnyk, hands down the most popular, most successful Stockton Thunder in franchise history. Oh yeah. There you go with that. Draft, and Chester, you're awesome. Thank you for bringing that up. Draft tomorrow, free agent Friday, and Wednesday as well. Free agent frenzy on Friday. It's going to be a fun week, and it's going to be a fun week here on Teal Town USA. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, because things can get really crazy in the next few days, and it's just starting. I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg, people. Just the tip of the iceberg. We have the draft. We have the first round Tuesday, 4:30. We'll be on after round 1, so make sure you're there for that. We'll have a full recap Wednesday night. And then, still talking to Jerk, we'll see if we can do a live reaction. If not, we'll recap the day when things get going on the Free Agent Frenzy Friday show. So we'll be here all week long, much to the disappointment of our significant others. So we'll be back here all day, all week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. Maybe we'll sneak something in Thursday or Saturday. At this point, why not? We got the whole week covered for you, and we appreciate each and every one of you checking us out. So if you missed anything or you want to watch this again, check us out on tealtownusa.com or your favorite podcatcher, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, you name it, you love it. And of course, always available at tealtownusa.com. So with that, I am PuckGuy14. You can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram. I'll be back with you Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and Friday for all of our draft and free agent frenzy coverage. Appreciate each and every one of you. Hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that notification bell. Follow us on the social. Follow us on the YouTube, where we've done a ton of interviews ranging from Dan Boyle, Randy Hahn, Sonia Tydinko, John Scott during the NHL pause. We would really appreciate you checking it all out there. And until tomorrow, Tuesday, for draft coverage, keep it real, keep it teal, keep it real teal. Appreciate each and every on here. Thank you so much and have a good day.